goal of this video is to introduce participants to the format and information contained in Scode output reports. This video is designed to supplement the Output Reference Guide document. The Scode user interface consists of two selection entry boxes. The scenario dropdown requires that users highlight a given scenario and is confirmed by pressing Tab. This advances the cursor to the team name field, where users must enter an alphanumeric team name. This is also confirmed by pressing Tab. This will initialize the simulation so that it is ready for weekly processing. The interface also displays the current week. There are three navigation buttons on the interface: Input Weekly Operations, Process Weekly Input, and Review Last Week's Performance. Note that all Scode scenarios will begin by immediately processing Week 1 input. This is intentional so that participants begin the simulation by analyzing the previous week's performance. Upon confirmation, Scode will begin to run its algorithms. You will be asked to recognize the completion of weekly processing. This will immediately open three Excel-based reports. The first report is the financial summary, which highlights the current week's revenue relative to year-to-date performance. Revenue is critical in Scode as it provides a source for the calculation of the supply chain management budget. This budget is typically 35% of weekly revenue. In Part B, you can see the budget is concerned with costs related to the supply, plant, distribution center, and market functions. These category costs are further broken down into line items. It is expected that each team properly manage its supply chain to ensure supply chain contribution as a source of enterprise profitability. The cost analysis is presented by summary, as well as by product and by market. The output report contains a management dashboard providing performance metrics relative to operations of the supply chain. This performance dashboard is both forward and backward facing in that it provides anticipated as well as actual results. Rows 3 through 8 highlight the raw material inventory for current week by facility. The heading indicates that we are currently observing Week 1 results in relation to the upcoming production schedule, which in this case is Week 2. The value of the cell is coded to indicate anticipated surplus, green, or deficit, red, of raw material based on the current production schedule. Lines 11 through 15 indicate the raw material status of the following period, which in this case is Week 3. The projection of raw material inventory status is only possible through the use of a 2-week production scheduling horizon. Rows 17 through 28 are calculations for anticipated usage of labor and inventory storage space for raw material and finished goods. These calculations are based on current capacities and the anticipated delivery of those raw materials or finished goods. Lines 29 through 35 provide a breakdown of demand fulfillment by market and by product for the previous week, which in this case would be Week 1. We will now explore the subsequent tabs which provide the source data for these dashboard calculations. The raw material usage schedule provides details of the quantity of raw material available used in this week's production, as well as what was received and what is scheduled for receipt in future weeks. Note here that we are also provided the current capacity for raw material storage, as well as the current labor hour capacity for production. Future quantities of raw materials to be delivered are guaranteed within the yellow time buckets. The Production Report tab provides details of the actual versus scheduled production which took place in the previous week. It also reports the future production schedule. These production schedules are based on routine production scheduling and is 2 weeks in advance. This report does not take into account any expediting or rushing of production quantity, raw material availability, or labor hour capacity. The DC to Market Area Transfer, or DC Service Area, provides information regarding the movement of finished good products to each specific marketplace. Note that in Scode, you may only supply a market from a single point. This report also highlights any possible stockouts or unfulfilled customer demand, both by product and by market. The Finished Goods tab, or Distribution Center Receipts and Shipments, highlights the movement of finished goods inventory into and out of the distribution center. This high-level report provides information regarding beginning, received, and shipped quantities, as well as details regarding finished good distribution center storage capacity. The sales report shows how many units of each product were sold at what price to which market. The cumulative year-to-date totals are also displayed. The lost sales report details unrealized revenue as a result of unfulfilled customer demand. While this report illustrates lost income opportunity, the lost sales dollars are not directly subtracted from weekly profit. The Systems Notification tab provides details of any processing errors for the week. There are numerous error statements that might be listed here. For example, quality concerns or lack of labor hours preventing production from occurring, or demand going unfulfilled because of improper mode assignment. The aggregate report provides users with an overview of the aggregate or year-to-date performance as measured by the key performance indicators. The 4 KPIs are total revenue, supply chain contribution, demand fulfillment, and finished goods inventory turns. These KPIs are classified by category and also presented in graphical format for deeper insight. This concludes your introduction to the Scode interface and output reports. Additional videos and training will be provided regarding how to input your weekly decisions.